Do you know anybody that you can actually trust? I just finished reading a chapter in Dr. Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life, that made me ask myself this exact same question. The name of that chapter is Assume the person that you are listening to might know something that you don't. In that chapter, he shares a few stories about his experience in psychotherapy and the importance of listening. For those of you who don't know him, Jordan Peterson is an accredited psychologist, author, and public speaker. He's traveled all around the world and talked to thousands of people about how to solve their problems. And he's pretty good at it too. But back to what I was saying. In this chapter, he discusses how important it is to have someone to talk to, and more importantly, someone that will listen. And by listen, I don't mean someone who hears what you have to say and then comes out with a generic response or just goes off on their own tangent. I mean someone who listens intently, someone who gives well-developed responses that are worth listening to. He has a quote on page 245 that goes as such. You have to get along with other people. A therapist is one of those other people. A good therapist will tell you the truth about what he thinks, and that's different than telling you that what he thinks is the truth. Then at least you have the honest opinion of at least one person. That's not easy to get. That's not nothing. That's the key to the psychotherapeutic process. Two people tell each other the truth, and both listen. The example given in the quote is a relationship between a therapist and a patient, but a very similar dynamic can be experienced between just two people, given that the individuals are willing and capable of listening to each other's problems and giving back helpful responses. Peterson then continues to explain how his approach to psychotherapy is modeled a lot after Sigman Freud. And again, in case you don't know, I'll familiarize you with this character. Sigmund Freud was an accredited Austrian neurologist and is regarded as the founder of psychoanalysis. He was the first person to have someone come into an office and sit on a couch, look at the ceiling as he faced away and just allowed them to speak. And he listened. He realized that it was a successful method of psychotherapy as the patients would work out their own problems simply by speaking them out loud to another person. Peterson takes a similar approach, but treats it as a conversation. They face each other, he allows them to speak, and he listens. He will have developed responses based off the information they're telling him, and that will incite more conversation and more questions to be asked. He communicates through body language, eye contact, and even groans or grunts, little cues that let them know what he's thinking. And he's found that with so many people, they just need someone that they can trust to talk to. For many, they've been lonely their entire lives. Some have never had a friend or even a true family for that matter. They've been huddled into a solitary shell, and the only consolation they receive is from the echo chamber of their own mind. So for many people, having a therapist is like having a friend. But everybody who needs a friend does not necessarily need a therapist. Now, finding someone that genuinely cares about you and wants nothing but the best for you is much easier said than done. But I promise you they're out there. I can say with certainty that I would not be where nor who I am today if it weren't for the few close friends that I have in my life. What would I do if I didn't have someone to tell me when I was way in over my head? What would I do if I didn't have someone to rationalize all these crazy future ideas that I have and build plans to actually get there? What would I do if I didn't have someone to discuss the intricacies of the universe and God and existence? I truly don't know. But I do know that my experience has been a great one. I couldn't imagine going through this life alone, and for what it's worth, nobody that I've ever talked to has said it any differently. I made this video today to share with you some interesting information that I recently learned and to share some anecdotal experience from my own life. I hope that given this information, you'll choose to hone in on a few of those friendships or relationships that you have and build even deeper, truer connections. Remember to tell the truth and listen carefully. I challenge you to foster the relationships around you and be in search of more. There's a lot of lonely people out there, but the good thing about that is that there's probably a lot of people looking for the exact same thing you are, a true friend. Be honest, tell the truth, and actually care about what they have to say, and you're a lot more likely to get that back in return. I have one more quote from Dr. Peterson that I believe will drive this home. I'm going to hold my phone because I don't want to have to edit out the breaks in between this statement. The fact is important enough to bear repeating. People organize their brains with conversation. If they don't have anyone to tell their story to, they lose their minds. Like hoarders, they cannot unclutter themselves. The input of the community is required for the integrity of the individual psyche. To put it in another way, it takes a village to organize a mind. I love that quote so much. And as always, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you for watching these videos. I hope that you are getting something useful out of them, and if you are, please share it with someone else. That way they can also reap the rewards and the benefits. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more. The more you interact with the channel, the more you'll see it on your page and the more it will show up on others. And as always, guys, I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.